call the meeting to order at 6 o'clock. Entertain a motion for the approval of the minutes of the February 8th meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, there's some additions and deletions under new business. There's a corrected weight limits letter, it's in your packets. We'll talk about that. There is an addition for the chair's report. It's a notice of a demonstration. Some of that information is also in your packet. And then there's an executive session set for the end of the open meeting. Next up, members of the public, there are none. Rob, go ahead with the warrants.
Make a motion to pay the warrants, starting with number 1, payroll in the amount of $12,026.90. Number 2, payroll tax in the amount of $5,209.71. Number 3, general fund in the amount of $7,651.88. Number 4, general fund in the amount of $14,916.87. Number 5, general fund in the amount of $439.28. Number 6, highway fund in the amount of $21,292.40. Number 7, highway equipment fund in the amount of $3,952.57, for a total of $65,489.61.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion on any of the warrants 1 through 7? Any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying check warrants in the amount of $65,489.61 signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, all set. Next up, go ahead, Steve.
We've been having our share of maintenance issues with the trucks the last couple of storms. T3, T4, T2, T1, all experiencing mechanical issues. During the ice storm that we had several weeks ago, T2 was damaged. It was the truck that I was driving. I was plowing the Grafton Road when I came upon a tree that was blocking the entire road. And in an effort to push it off to the side to get one lane open till I can get the backhoe up there, in doing so, a branch snapped and came back and clipped the right front fender and door. So I have an appointment on Thursday to get a quote. We already have claim information into VLCT for that incident. I tried to make arrangements for roadside mowing with HP Fairfield, who we have contracted with for the last several years. They notified me that their weekly rate has increased from $3,400 a week to $4,500 a week. So I'm looking at other possibilities before I bring a recommendation to the board. Last week we started pothole repairs. I have more material on order so we can do some stuff around the common that needs to be done. And in the last several days we've been poking holes in snowbanks and trying to thaw frozen culverts in preparation for tonight's rainstorm.
Any questions for Steve? Anything else at all?
We're watching a storm for Friday.
Yeah.
Currently everything is up and running.
Alrighty. Treasurer's report. Now the treasurer's report's a little different this time. When we came across the issue that we've talked about a couple of weeks ago about understanding the cash flow in that $200,000 that we were concerned about, turns out that that was actually used 2 years ago, but in the way that it was documented, it never showed that to us. So what I had asked Connie and Helen by extension to do is come up with something that actually reflects, instead of sitting here and giving the same numbers off of the ledger that we get, or the bank deposits. I mean, it says $978,259.56 and the $30,000 in the checking account. Well, this one factors in what is actually available based on what's gone out, what's budgeted, and it's page right behind. And I'm gonna ask Connie to give you an explanation about what it is, but the actual number, true balance that's available to us is $339,922.08. Connie, go ahead.
So just to back up a minute to say why we put this report together. In a meeting with the auditor, Sherwood and Steve was asking the auditor for why the numbers don't change that we report every week. And he was pointing out that it's actually not the most accurate number to be reporting if you really want to know what your true fund balance is that you have to spend and according to your budget. And so he recommended that we print out every 2 weeks the second page of this, which is the first page of the trial balance report, which gives much more information and more accurate information. So at that meeting, it was decided that we would begin to look at the true balance report, but try to make heads or tails of that. So what Helen and I are attempting to do, this is a first attempt. If it doesn't work, if it's not, illustrative of anything, we can go back and revisit it. But what we were trying to do is to show the primary categories and what you deduct from your people's checking account to get what you actually have in terms of money, but also in terms of your budget. So if you look at the last report on February 7th, you will see negative numbers. It's not that we're in the hole on money, but according to our budget, the money had not yet come in, and we were, in our budget, we were in the deficit, although there was plenty of money to pay for bills. What you'll see this 2 weeks later is that there's money coming in because of taxes, so we're no longer in a budgetary deficit. The money is actually showing itself in the budget. So I can try to explain it some more.
No, I think
We're hoping to try to give the select board sort of a more true understanding of the cash flow and the budget.
I think what's important here is that we have taken things out of the budget to try and deal with the expenditures and keep them under control. So there's not going to be this big pot of money if we go over to draw from. And if we don't know exactly what we have at any given time, we're not going to be able to manage our money. That's the intent of this. I sit here and say, like, what was it, 695,000 was a normal thing. That's not realistic. I mean, maybe that's what's sitting there, but it's also occupied by for other things. And it'll also give us an indication of when our tax, the tax payments are coming in, so we can understand exactly this cash basis. Because cash basis, as you all know, is basically just a checking account. And if you overdraw your checking account, there's penalties. This is to help understand that better than the way it used to be done on accrual, because you got a number from the tax payment that came in, and if you didn't have enough to manage it, well, there was always, down the road with the next quarter's taxes coming in. So by the end of the year, you could balance it off, or you should be able to balance it off. And doing something like this, at least we know every 2 weeks, right now, where we actually are at. Because that number from
it doesn't factor in the warrants
Okay.
that you're all voting on
right,
tonight. So it's not
for the
total.
past 2 weeks,
Yeah.
it reflects that.
Gives a more updated.
And
So will we have this at each meeting
Yep.
from here on out?
I think it's ridiculous to sit here and say we have that kind of money. It doesn't
Right.
say anything.
Right, it's been kind of vague, honestly,
Yeah.
until this beautiful thing, so
So
thank you.
it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
But it's great, this is much more important for us
If
to see.
there's
I think.
anything that anyone can think of that should be on there to give more definition to it so you understand what it's about, let her know. And Helen's been working on it as well to help bring it to this point. I think I gave the numbers of just the come from the banking account, just the municipal investment fund, that says 978, $259.56 with the $30,000. The new one will kind of grind that down, tell us exactly what is there and what isn't.
Is it possible to also do that for ARPA, or be able to see like the grants that we've received before as well?
Not sure. We are going to tackle, we're going to try and tackle ARPA after town meeting calms down. So, they just, from what I understand from the auditor, they just opened those funds up to a lot more ability to disperse them instead of just COVID type things. So, I don't know what the new rules are. I think I sent you all the rule book in 496 pages. It was 150 to start. And if you remember, I cautioned you that it was going to get bigger, and it did. I haven't gotten finished going through that. Is there any other questions about this? If you have feedback, certainly let Connie know, and we're just trying to generate a report that actually is reflective of what was done. I'll leave it there.
Sounds like it was a lot of work.
It's fine. Coming up with something illustrative.
Okay, we don't have a clerk's report. The chair report is simple. A reminder that tomorrow night at 6 o'clock is the informational meeting for town meeting. We'll have people signed in and ready to go at about quarter after 5.
Quarter after 5:50.
45 minutes early, so it's at 6. Yeah, quarter after 5. The people that are responsible for hosting and have been doing the logistics in the background will sign on. And then you are all welcome to sign on whenever. I know you've got a commitment, or at least I was told you've got a commitment.
Possibly.
Okay. Well,
Should.
if you're there, you're there. What I've asked...
I usually don't bring much to the meeting anyways.
What I've asked of David Lebo, or will be, is that anything about the budget that doesn't specifically reflect on, like the highway budget, or the fire department budget, or the library, things like that, that those people are going to be available to answer questions. I'll field any questions of the other odds and ends, and, you know, you're obviously...
I'm going to be here.
You're going to be here with her, yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna have a nice little crowd.
So, I'll take the other questions, and then you all are welcome to ask or input, or give your input, whatever you like to do. Just make it flow a little bit. Let's see. Also, for the people that get elected, there's going to be a special select board meeting on March 2nd, which is the next day. This is the organizational meeting at 6 o'clock. This is where we elect chair, vice chair, secretary, or no, clerk, it's not secretary, clerk, and we'll talk about future meeting times. So March 2nd, Wednesday, Lincoln's going to be here to call the meeting to order, and then we'll do just what we did last year. Second. Yeah, this is going to be like 5 minutes. Something we got to get done. All right, so the other thing that I have, there's no old business. Oh, I need to bring up, wait a minute. Wasn't from Lane, hang on. There is supposed to be a protest. In your packet, there's a picture out in front of the post office in Newfane. It's a civil rights for all. They're planning on coming up here sometime in the next 3 weeks,
A few weeks, they said.
couple of weeks, and having their protest. So,
What are they protesting?
I think it's just a demonstration for civil rights. I don't know if the post office volunteered to hang that sign up, or they did it of their own. Oh, it looks like they have their own stanchions, so. Anyway, if you see a bunch running around, probably by the post office, that's what it's about. And the other thing was the weights. Apparently, Steve could probably explain this better than I, but it has to do with them not classifying the weights right or the dates right. and we have to adopt this and then post it where we post our warnings.
That's the weight limits for mud season.
Okay, and it's just for mud season?
Yes,
Okay.
will expire May 15th or earlier depending on weather.
Okay, all right. So all we have to do is adopt this, so I'd entertain a motion to adopt the weight limits, the temporary weight limits as proposed by the state for, what is it, class 2, 3, and 4 roads?
For Townsend, it's class 3 roads.
Class 3 roads, okay. Do we have a motion?
So,
Second.
Any further discussion on it? Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Right?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. All right, that's it for business, except we have an entertained motion to go into executive session under section 1 VSA 3 and 3B personnel.
so,
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Only if it lasts
Only if it lasts.
a shorter amount of time than usual. If it's about the same.
There won't be-
Connection a lot.
Over
There
and
won't
over
be
again.
anything that we can release after this meeting, so we're all set.